What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. And today we're going to be continuing the A Nightmare on Elm Street review series. And we are on the movie to introduce yours truly to this franchise, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master. This movie has everything that makes A Nightmare on Elm Street A Nightmare on Elm Street. From the cool visuals, from the cool shots, from the cool effects. Everything just meshes well together in this movie, and it just has this zany, comical flair to it. So let's get into it. As far as what I liked about Dream Master, this movie is the most 80s film in this franchise, in my opinion. Now, some people may argue, well, wait a minute now. You have Dream Warriors and a little bit of Freddy's Revenge. You can consider those as 80s as well. And yeah, that's true. But in my opinion, from the opening credits with Tuesday nights running from this nightmare, playing over them, and then throughout the film, the colors, as I mentioned before, and just the visuals within the film, and Freddy just cracking it up and just making one-liners, and the looks of the characters, everything, it just has this very 80s vibe to it. To me, the most 80s film in this franchise by far. Another thing that I like and I love is Freddy is at the forefront of this movie. This is the film that makes Freddy a pop culture icon. This is peak Freddy, in my opinion. Now, people may point their fingers at this movie and say that this is the film that started the downward spiral from the character of Freddy. And for the most part, you would be right. But I think he still maintains that intimidation factor from 3 and carries it over here. He has a lot of screen time, and I love it. Director Rennie Harlan himself, he stated previously that he wanted to make Freddy like James Bond, the horror movie version of James Bond, and he succeeded. The effects, as mentioned in the previous review, peak here, from the resurrection of Freddy towards the beginning of the film in Kincaid's nightmare. Kincaid wakes up in the junkyard. His dog Jason is there. Jason, another cool visual, pisses fire. So a dog pisses fire and brings Freddy back, which is some people may be like, that doesn't make any sense. How does that work? Like, how does a dog pissing fire works, man? Look, you just gotta ignore it. You just gotta roll with it. This is a Nightmare on Elm Street film after all. So just chill and just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride for what it is. And then the ground starts to open up, and then you get the reassembling of Freddy's body. It starts with the bones, and his muscles and tendons starts to reassemble and come back. The skin starts to reform, and his eyes start to come back. Look, man, as dumb as it is for a dog to piss fire, great effect there. Great effect of the resurrection of Freddy. And you also get that cool shot of the camera panning on Freddy's shadow. It pans up his shoes, boots, whatever, and then up towards his upper body. And you get that cool shot of him in the darkness. You can't see his face. And he says,
"You shouldn't have buried me. I'm not dead."
You have that effect. You have the, in my opinion, the most infamous effect here in this movie, and a great kill as well in this franchise. You have the Debbie kill, the Roach Motel scene. Freddy, he appears as she's bench pressing in her home, and Freddy just appears out of nowhere. He starts to push the barbell down even further, and then it just, her arms open up. They've just fallen. It affected them just falling on the floor, and Roach arms start to appear out of the openings, and like, just a lot, man. It's a lot, you know. And she's in the Roach Motel, and inside the motel, it starts to form like glue or whatever, and she just falls down. Her face peels off. Like, bro, great effect too. Awesome effect. You have the ending, the death of Freddy himself. Alice and Freddy are fighting inside the church. You know, Freddy has the upper hand, and he's about to strike. And Alice sees a shard of mirror, and she picks it up and remembers the Dream Master rhyme or whatever. She grabs the shard of mirror and holds it up to Freddy. Evil sees himself, and he dies, basically. The souls of the children start to, or victims rather, start to pry out of him, out of his torso, and they hold on to the wall in the church. A little arm pops out of the back of Freddy's head and it holds on to the pole in the church. And that's a funny visual too. But yeah, eventually they rip his jaw off. He just falls down and he disappears. The death of Freddy in this movie, great effect as well. This movie has some cool visuals and sequences too. First off, the nightmare of Kristen towards the beginning of the film. She's in the boiler room, everything's cold, and she gets afraid, she gets spooked, and she brings Kincaid and Joey into her nightmare. Those 3 reunite, and they both tell Kristen, hey, stop dragging us into your nightmare. Freddy's dead, he's gone, we won, he's not coming back. And Kristen's warning them like, he's here, he's coming back. The junkyard sequence is cool. Visual of the cars around Kincaid, and you get that shot when Kincaid starts to yell to the sky and saying, Kristen, Freddy's back, you know, and the camera pans from him, gives an overhead shot. My favorite shot personally from this film is towards the end of the movie. You have Alice and Dan in the tunnel, and then Freddy appears on his side of the tunnel, and you get that red glow behind him. Like that shot, and he's posed or whatever. You know, like I love that shot for some reason. You have Sheila's death as well. That whole sequence in itself was cool. The little robotic arm popping out of her desk and grabbing her face before Freddy appears. He has his feet propped up on the desk, and he's where the teacher should be. He's carving an apple with his glove and walks over to Sheila, and then he gives this line.
Wanna suck the face?
No.
Freddy kills Sheila. That's a great scene in itself. As far as what I'm on the fence about Dream Master, I do think that the recasting of Kristen Parker is very jarring. They casted Tuesday Night in the role, and Tuesday Night's performance as Kristen is fine. I mean, she does a good job taking over the character. It's not a perfect continuation because Patricia Arquette brought something different than Tuesday Night, but again, fine enough. As if it matters, because the character is killed off anyway in this film, so not really a big of a deal. Also, the characters here, not as memorable as the Dream Warriors. These new characters aren't really all that interesting for me, and they get even worse in the next couple of films. You know, you have Debbie, you have Sheila, you have Rick, you have Dan, the introduction of Dan, and you have the introduction of Alice. These characters fit the time period that this film was released in, the 80s, late 80s. Like I said, not as interesting or not as memorable as the Dream Warriors. And finally, Alice as a final girl. I don't think Alice is final girl material. She starts off as this shy, timid girl, and then towards the end of the film, she becomes this badass heroine, bringing the fight to Freddy by herself. And she handles her own, and she has some fiery spirit, you know, but to me it feels forced, because as each character dies in this film, Alice gains a piece of it, and she's strong enough to take the fight to Freddy in the final battle in the church. Cool element. You know, I dig the Dream Master element, but again, it doesn't feel earned. It should have been a continuation of Kristen Parker's story. It could have been a team-up film with Kristen and Alice fighting Freddy, have Freddy kill off Kristen, and then the next movie focuses on Alice. But again, Alice as a final girl, fine, decent, but not on the level of Kristen Parker, and certainly not on the level of Nancy Thompson. As far as what I didn't like about Dream Master, Rick. Let's start off with Rick. You get his death scene, which is stupid, very stupid. You know, the set piece they filmed in looks so cheap, just bed sheets hanging up, and he fights an invisible Freddy. It's just not cool, not cool. At least to me, it's not cool at all. He kicks the glove out of nowhere, dude. Freddy glove appears out of nowhere, flies in the air, falls on the floor in the studio, and then it just turns. All of a sudden, it flies towards Rick's stomach. Alice feels it, and she reacts. She knows her brother's dead. It's just a dumb scene. Dumb scene. But they kill off the Dream Warriors too fast. They waste no time, man. Like, it starts with Kincaid. After you get that overhead shot of him with the camera panning and showing how big the junkyard is, Freddy appears out of nowhere and just stabs Kincaid in the gut. As he does it, he's like, 1 down, 2 to go, and finishes the job. Kincaid's dead. Second one is Joey. Joey's the next one to go. He's on his waterbed and he's falling asleep on the bed, Glenn style. He has a poster of this hot girl in his room. He's in a bikini. He falls asleep, looks at the poster again. She's no longer there. She appears inside the waterbed. He sees her, she sees him, and he's trying to see how, like, why are you in my dream? Like, what's going on? Like, and she disappears. It's quiet for a second. And then Freddy shoots out of the bed, grabs him, and he proceeds to drown Joey in the waterbed, and Joey's crying out, trying to get help. And now it's time for Kristen's demise. She ends up in the boiler room. You have Freddy in there in the boiler room, and he sees Kristen. And he's like, M Street's last brat. Farewell. She's like, we beat you before. And he's like, well, you're all alone now. She calls Alice in there. And then Alice is the witness to Kristen's death. Kristen runs towards Freddy. Freddy picks her up. He says, now no one sleeps. And he throws her into the boiling water. And she's dead. She's on fire in the real world. But yeah, they kill off the Dream Warriors a little too fast. A little too fast. But that is it, guys. Those are my thoughts and opinions about this underrated gem. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts is about this film. If you love it like I do, if you think it's underrated, or if you hate it. If you hate this film, you outright just despise it because of what it turned Freddy into. Let me know that as well. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content as I try to push out more videos and add more to this channel so it can grow. And until next time, guys, I'm Bran. Thanks for watching. Peace.